Riley Everyday has returned yet again, and this time we are going to be looking at our collective Sleepers Media Top 100. For the next 10 days leading up to the season, we are going to be breaking it down 10 players at a time. So for this first edition, I have Greg Waddell on me to discuss, excuse me, gosh, I have Greg Waddell with me to discuss players 100 through 91. We have a couple superlatives we're going to look at, but first, G, do you want to do the honors of reading who these players are?
If I can find the Google sheet that lists the players in the next 5 seconds, absolutely I do. I found it. Okay, yes, this is such an honor. Honored to be here. Never really been a guest in Sleeper's channel, and this is so fun for me. Are we ready? Do you want to drum roll it first?
Can you hear the drum roll?
No, just imagine a fake drum roll. Here are our top 100 players, part one, 100 through 91 for the upcoming season, starting with number 100, Mason Falslev. 99, Elijah Freeman. 98, Mario Saint Superi. Number 97, Malik Thomas. 96, Cohen Carr. 95, Shelton Henderson. 94, Jaden Quaintance. 93, Jason Edwards. 92, Tremont Mark. And 91, Anthony Roy.
Thank you, G. Great job announcing that. So I have four different superlatives we're going to go through. The first one's pretty simple. Out of this group, who do you like to most outperform his ranking?
This is tough because I think there's going to be a couple in every 10 player group that I want to shout out. Are we allowed to briefly talk multiple before making a pick? How do you want to run this?
Yeah, you can hash out who are your contenders.
I think Jaden Quaintance, Shelton Henderson, and Cohen Carr are the three that I would significantly rate higher than this. In fact, I'm trying to look where my rankings ended up with these guys. I had all three of these guys. Sheldon Henderson, I actually had right around 95. I had him one spot lower, but the more I sit on here, I might change that. I had Quaintance four spots higher than 94. I had Cohen Carr in the 70s, which is higher than anybody else in this group for me. To me, Cohen Carr is expected to be either the best or second best player on Michigan State. Jaden Quaintance is the biggest NBA prospect at Kentucky. The only question for him is health. And if he is fully healthy, to me, he's a top 50 player in the sport, not in the 90s. And then Shelton Henderson is just getting buzz that he's Miami's best player. And I kind of buy the people saying it right now. So for me, those three would stand out.
Yeah, I was between Mario St. Super. Had him at number 73 in my rankings, and Shelton Henderson. Henderson didn't even make my rankings. That might be on me. I'm flip-flopping and saying I probably should have included him. I just think that when you look at the pedigree of someone like Jay Lucas, Jay Lucas has been at both Kentucky and Duke, two schools that know how to use five-star caliber wings. And I think Henderson already has a college-ready frame. He's an insane defender, great athlete, can handle. The only question is the jumper, and I think it looks better than most prospects who you say that about. Like, I think there's something he can work with there. And I'm with you. You watched Trey Donaldson the past 2 years, and we know that he is. Or did you only watch him 1 year? Was he only at Michigan 1 year?
He was at 1 year. Yeah. The one
Sorry,
with Dusty. That's it.
you watch Trey Donaldson on your team every night, one season. Like he's definitely, I think, better suited to be a second or third option. I don't think and True Washington don't really think he's going to be coming for any of Henderson's shot attempts. Like they should play through him. With Saint Superi, my argument for him is just played in the top league in Spain this past year, close to 15 minutes a game, scored 8 points, dished out 2 assists per night, noticeably better stats in the top league of Spain than someone like Kasper Giakashonis when he was playing on the A team and averaged what, like 15, 5, and 5 last year. Plus, you put him in that Gonzaga system, which has been very guard friendly. I just think Mario St. Superi is one of the best young guard prospects in all of Europe. And going to a coach who has a great track record of unlocking guards, I get Gonzaga is putting out some Braden Smith, the other Braden Smith propaganda, and saying it's his show to run. I just think it's not going to take long for them to realize, like, oh, Saint Superi is the most talented dude on this roster. He's such an electric playmaker with the ball in his hands, good shooter. Like, will tee up some absolute dimes for Graham Ike to feast, Braden Huff as well. I just think he's going to make that whole team better and could end up like in the 50s when this is all said and done.
It's a fair shout. I think he's probably one of the higher upside of this group if it hits. I'm just a little skeptical it hits compared to you.
For sure. Next category is the player most likely to underperform his rank. I
I
know
don't
this one
like
isn't as
doing
fun.
this.
I don't like it either, but we got to.
We don't have to. I don't know. Give me. I don't even think he's likely to underperform. I'm just going to say Tremont Mark because I'm kind of out on the Tremont Mark experience. By underperform for me with Tremont, it would just be do exactly what he's done for 2 years, but nobody cares because it's on a losing team.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what I expect from him at this point.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout. I would say kind of similar reasoning behind either Anthony Roy or Jason Edwards. Edwards was someone who I thought was insane. Like I was really high on him even in these rankings because of how good he was for a Vanderbilt team last season that played really hard and ran pretty good stuff on offense. I think anytime I watched the Commodores, it was like, man, this team seems really bought into Mark Byington. Therefore, it might be a little bit of a red flag that their best player decided to dip and go to Providence, a team that does not really have the best supporting cast around him. You look like Corey Floyd Jr. and Duncan Powell, not exactly a who's who of Big East winners, I would classify. I think he's going to put up big numbers, but Providence, I think they've been 500 or worse in Big East play in 2 years under Kim English, and I struggle to see that changing this year. And then Anthony Roy, I know J-Man was the one who was high on him. J-Man put him in the top 60, which I get it. He's got great size, great length, and just that smooth lefty jumper. And you watch him in that Oklahoma State exhibition against Auburn, and he was just putting dudes on skates and getting buckets. Even his Green Bay highlights are sick, and it's like maybe getting away from Doug Gottlieb further unlocks his career. But I still have some of those same doubts is that, Big 12 is loaded. I like Steve Lutz, but I don't know he's that good to truly elevate Oklahoma State that much to where we're going to be like, yes, they have to have a surefire top 100 guy.
That exhibition performance just makes you look twice. Before that, I would have been like, no way, can we put Anthony Roy in the top 100? And then he was so good in that. It's like, well, shit, is he top 50? I don't know. He's had one of the more unique careers of any college basketball player ever. 4 points a game at San Francisco, sat out a year for JUCO, goes to New Mexico State, 10 points a game. Did not play again the next year. He's just jumping school every single year, goes to Green Bay, and all of a sudden goes to 25 a game. It's like, which version of this guy is this? I don't know. He's going to put up numbers. I just don't know if the efficiency translates, but he looked good in the exhibition.
So he only played 11 games for the Phoenix last year, but I think I saw this stat. I should have pulled it up in front of me. Apologies, but I'm pretty sure it was 3 games against power conference competition, and he averaged 24 a night against power conference teams. So that would bode favorably along with what we saw against Auburn, but still, that Oklahoma State roster still is very stinky, and I just struggle to see them win games. So
Yeah.
knock Anthony Roy for that, but. Next category we have, Greg. Who is your favorite player of this group?
Ooh,
Who are
Cohen.
you most excited to watch? Cohen Carr?
Yeah, I mean, just pure excitement. How can it not be? The guy's one of the top five most exciting highlight reel generators in the entire sport. And even if I mean, I put him in my group of guys I think likely to outperform this. I still have the reputation of a Cohen Carr skeptic, but at minimum, I think when Tom Izzo comes out and defends like the strides you've made in your game, like this guy, for the first time in his career, is going to be asked to be a half court offensive engine. It's either going to blow up and be a disaster, or he's going to make one of the bigger leaps in college basketball this entire season. And I would never bet against Cohen Carr when it comes to leaps.
I love Cohen Carr as well. We've
Little
obviously,
pun there
yeah,
for you. Yeah.
I see what you do there, G. I'm sorry for just glossing over that. I did
Thank
catch
you.
it. And I feel like we need Dion on here to officially make a statement. That's his All-American. But yeah, love that answer. I mean, I already raved about Mario St. Superi. I'm very excited to watch him. So I'll mention Malik Thomas. I think he's the more fun guard of that Arkansas backcourt duo just because he's a sniper with an absolute laser and has the potential to just show off the burner anytime he gets on the court. So, and I think there's always a little bit of a chaos factor with Cal guards anyway. You don't know what you're going to get. But last category today, G, as we look at some of these guys, like early on, before we get into like the top 50, top 40, and then on, there are some more under the radar prospects. And as you look at any of these players, does one stick out as like, okay, to the casual fan out there, you need to know blank about this player?
Honestly, from this group, I don't know if I do have one. I think it would probably be Henderson, just because to me he's the guy that like we have no data points on. Everybody else we've at least seen in college, other than Saint Superi. So like the educate the average college basketball fan answer, I think is either Saint Superi or Henderson, just likely promoting that both these guys will be in the NBA one day.
It's fair, fair. The good news is I have one on an under the radar guy. Are you familiar at all with Mason Falslev's game at Utah
Oh
State?
yeah, very good.
Falslev to me, I got to admit a blind spot. Until I was doing research, I didn't realize how much of a hooper this guy was. I mean, he averaged like 15 and 5 and was top 40 in the country in steal rate, second in the Mountain West. And the more I leaned into his tape, you see this guy who's an incredible catch and shoot threat. Utah State ran a ton of off-ball action for him. And he's a really good passer as well. Like they would run him off of dribble handoffs, set back screens for him, exit screens, and just let him cook. But like their Utah State's big men would just they bring Falslev off of a dribble handoff, set another screen for him, and because of his shooting gravity, it would lead to like a wide open feed to the big and the dunker spot on seemingly every possession. You factor in the defensive impact as well. I think the Mountain West should be pretty entertaining at the top between San Diego State, who's got a couple NBA guys, UNLV, who I like to call last chance U for top 50 prospects with what Josh Pastner's built in year one. And then you have Grand Canyon making their entrance into the league. Utah State is going to be firmly in the mix, and I would be shocked if they don't make the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I like Utah State. I That's a late night. Cart and I always bet on Utah State team last season, so we are well familiar with False 11. Ian Martinez was really good for them last year too.
I love
That's
Martinez.
probably on me for assuming everyone was well familiar with False Lev. He's fun.